What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell's is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's what anymore. Neither do I. My, what an amusing turn of events. That blood drop proved something to be true, alright. Namely, my words. Which one of your words would that be? The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless? That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need I remind you that the blood got onto that box long before it entered my embassy? What sort of nonsense? Yeah, it's blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So you would like to believe. But what if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? What then? I guess that's possible. Damn it, have we been wasting our time on a red herring? The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Crocus Alba, you bastard! Silence. Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again. I've wasted enough time here with you. And you have your answers. Now let me through. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs into you. You'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me, working to see that see to it that that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? They sound like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. Oof. Aroo! Oh man, is this really the extent of all that we can do? How many times have we reached this? It's like, oh my god, is this really the end? Is the blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? What would Phoenix Wright do? What would he, who can turn any desperate situation around, do? Turn it around. That's it! I must turn my way of thinking around. God, it's just like the think outside the box from Phoenix Wright. It's not whose blood is this. It's whose blood could get onto the box like this. And if I think about it that way, if the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of the blood must have been in the dressing room at the same time. There's only one person that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from centre stage. And will be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The arm of the law is powerless before me. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. Pitiful? How so? Crocus Alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. Mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Mr. Edgeworth? Just what you think it means, Kay. We had already caught him in our trap a while back. With an incredibly powerful, definitive piece of evidence. Hey, to Mr. Prosecutor, care to speak in English? What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all. Miss Von Karma, I believe that is exactly why it's very important to the case. And the part that is the most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. Or has he caught on? You're looking a little pale. Good. Then I believe you are already aware of what I mean. Then you know who the blood belongs to. Of course I do. This piece of evidence is the irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. Blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. The blood of the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Quercus Alba. What? Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even a victim. The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Cochin's body was being loaded into the pushcart. At that time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. If the blood doesn't belong to the victim, then there is only one other person it could belong to. Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion. But Mr. Cochin was the one who was stabbed, sir. Why would Mr. Alba not have been the one who was bleeding? What if during the murder Mr. Cochin had fought back? I mean, if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Cochin managed to wound Mr. Alba. Yes, and I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. What is the piece of evidence that shows that Mr. Alba was probably bleeding at the time? His wound, perhaps? Claims it's proof he was stabbed by Damask II. So it's justified defense. Oh man, the music, it's picking up again. Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. That was from when Damask II attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room. Yeah, but is that what really happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept that as fact. Shall we try a test, Mr. Alba? And see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors? You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility. You're one to talk, Mr. Alba. You've managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader. No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You truly are a one-of-a-kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Cochin. That it was caused here in one of the theatre's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound. One that could only have come from a blade. I've just realised what Mr. Cochin had on him. I wonder where you will propose that such a weapon came from. Ah, this theatre was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. No, it isn't. Just as Mr. Alba was able to bring in the Alabastian knife in a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. Ah, but as long as you can't prove what that other way is, all your talk about Mr. Cochin stabbing me is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. Oh, gladly. Oh, with pleasure. Wait, what? Oh man, comes full circle. This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Cochin brought a weapon into this theatre. Among law enforcement, this piece is known as the Yatagarasu's key. That key. That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. And it is very unique in that it is both a key and a knife, meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have been easily brought into the theatre. You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped off the blood and placed it back into Mr. Cochin's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside the safe, there was a document about Kadopian paper, signed by Mr. Cochin. In order to make it look like Mr. Cochin died as the leader of the smuggling ring, you had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching this knife's blade with your wound, Mr. Quercus Alba? Or is he finally gonna give up? Is it time? Will he give in? Breakdown, 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 have a breakdown, please. And that is what some may call the coup de grace. Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine, all of you. Especially Manny Cochin. This is all because of that man's betrayal. He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador. Which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all of my crimes for me. That's why I sent out the Yatagarasu's card, and how this incident was born. Manny was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader, smuggling king is nearly what I said, who was killed by the Yatagarasu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close. And I would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Meddling prosecutors. Yeah, we did it! I think that's actually the end of the game. There's probably a lot of stuff to go through still. Like the epilogue and all the other dialogue. Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there is one more question I forgot to ask. This country's, or Alabast's, which country's court would you like to face first? Either way, it's game over for you. Breakdown. Edgeworth! Damn. Oh my god. Is he gonna wither away like a tree? Oh, oh god. That's really creepy. Jesus Christ. Oh man. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Whew, this is it. The big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabast. Francisco is heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it. Having to face Miss Von Karma in court right after facing you, sir. Ugh, I don't even want to think what that would be like. I caught a glimpse of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted into the courthouse. And boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents. Correct, that smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Cammy Meal was to provide support during smuggling ops, using her job as an attendant, and Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favour. Ugh. I fly airlines, and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, has there? I suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world. Yeah, it sounds like such a big op, that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like. What is it, Detective? Ah, nothing. It's just, well, come to think of it. Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, sir. I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring for now for over 10 years. 10 years. 7 years. I really just can't talk. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. But all of that has come to an end, as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society. Well, with the arrests of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KGA incident as well, huh? I suppose so. The real killer in the KGA incident 10 years ago was Manny Cochin. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KGA incident was Macrel. Those two facts are the unshakable truth. However, it seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us. And I will expose it all at the trials today. You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir? CCU indeed, men. Perhaps now, these two brave souls who tried to make the truth known can rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Paleno. Shrimp, crab, beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you. What? Seriously, sir? Wait, actually I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them. Don't tell me they're just coupons, sir. Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Cadopia again, its economy has changed. Really? It seems that Ambassador Paleno has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He has been announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Cadopia. Ah, but what a pity. Even though every item he's sent is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay. Wait, that's not what I said, so, Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. That was Kay, wasn't it? But you come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? She's right behind him. Hey, you gotta be more alert than that. No, not Edgeworth. Gumshoe and his, like, scared animation's the best. Can't believe you didn't notice I was even mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit. I totally didn't notice you. Or realise that that voice was you. How dense can you be, Gumshoe? Langzy says, ferocious love blooms with each new spring. Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise to see you here. It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, but I wasn't going to miss. Watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court. Is that so, Agent Lang? We flushed out all of the counterfeit bills, so Zhengfa is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you, so I just want to say, thanks. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day old Wolfie says thanks to Mr. Edgeworth. I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to the both of us, in this case. A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you prosecutors. And I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that? I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do your job. Yeah. And if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. But as for me, I'm going to get that person no matter what. Alright. It's about time for the trial to start, and we'll see you later. I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I'm looking forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll help throw some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you've got enough, because I'm going to go call my men up as well. A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. Oh my god. The scene shifts to the courtroom, and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yatagarasu. It's the story of those who chose to dedicate their life to the pursuit of the truth. That's scrolled way too quick. Prosecutors are those who seek a guilty verdict of the defendants they meet, and to that end... Yeah, I can't fucking read this. Creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I no longer think that is all that prosecutors are, and that is because of that one man. I mean, it's Phoenix Wright that caused him to become a different prosecutor. Even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I set foot in one, and today, more than any other day, I feel the fight within me rising. Oh, is that how it ends? Credits? Hey! Oh, that's cool. Oh man, love it. This game was fantastic. It's really cool because it was completely different than the Ace Attorney games. I'm really in Mr. Edgeworth's debt for the other day. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve in the friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcases. I've been selling them on the internet and they've become a real sensation. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. The airline has chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think, someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. Ew. I keep forgetting that the credits of these games are the best, because they actually have interactions with characters, and they actually provide some useful things. Oh, is it gonna be him? He's gonna give us some more dialogue? Edgeworth? Ah, that rudeness of a rude man. Because of him my time and money is wasted. But more importantly, I resume with fantastic something, the Primrose statue of the Principality of Cadobia. It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the Ambassador Palena was most generous. He gave him the fake one. Ah, brilliant. Love it. Oh, is this going to be Franziska? We finally caught Agent Hicks's killer. and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. It feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. However, the Cadopian courts await. Cadopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my whip should feel new vigour there. Should find new vigour there. How many more characters are going to be to go through? Bad? CC? Of course Kay, how could I forget her? Oh, unless it's going to be Meekins. No, it's Meekins. This little patrolman has been fired as of today, sir. I thought it was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I dropped my police badge too. I guess what really broke the camel's back was that I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tripped into a dark black hole, sir. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with Ruffles Men. Is that Gumshoe? Is that what he calls Gumshoe? Ruffles Men. Sounds like a really crappy superhero. I'm trying to think how many more characters there'll be. Emma Skye? Or is it Lana? No, it's Emma. Lana's her sister. I was actually hoping to talk with Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did. I've got to get going and return to Europe. I've still got a long way to go, and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm going to do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's going to need all the help I can give him, scientifically. Man. Yeah, I really like this. It was fun. No, it is fun. I'm just trying to think how long it'll be. I'm not entirely sure. Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. I won't be going outside anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only prison I'm forever trapped in is the cage of love. The guard down at the detention centre. Well, when he's on guard duty, he has such a cold look in his eyes. Just like that prosecutor. Badump. Stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love? Oh my god, she falls for everybody. She fell pretty hard for Edgeworth, though. As did, that flight assistant. I can't remember her name, though. Gumshoe! Or is it going to be the judge? Oh, it is! It appears that there are... Oh, it appears there are all sorts of drama that takes place outside the courtroom. Since we judges are here day in and day out, I've only heard a few rumours, but apparently, Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. Oh my. How many more characters have I got to go through? It'd be 78. No, it'd be 85 parts. Which I think is shorter than both the first game and Trials and Tribulations, but longer than Justice for All. Phew, I barely escaped death yet again. Yeah, but boy were we lucky to have Mr. Edgeworth help us out, huh? Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. She really does not have good luck. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. You've still got me. You're right, sir. I won't be sad. I'm going to pick myself up and get through this. Wonder what my next job should be. Ooh, this is actually kind of fun. That's those sparkly eyes. Man. Doo-doo-doo. So what character's going to be next? Paleno! Why not come to Cadopia for your summer vacation? We have coupons aplenty. Right now our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder show. Although recreating that particular case has created a few small fires of its own. Then we had a few problems with the fire marshals. But the next event will be great. It will be an attraction entitled Capture the Yatagarasu. Of course, I hope to enlist Kay's help in creating our latest attraction. Very nice. I don't even know how many more they're gonna be. The only other things I can think of is Detective Bad, Lang, and maybe CC. Oh, of course, Larry, how could I forget him? I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. But it's okay, because that's how I met Miharu. We plan to go to Paris soon and start a business. We're going to sell Blue Ocean dogs. They'll sell like hotcakes. Hotcake hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog and a blue bun. I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and your face blue. I know I'm not really the type to work a lot, or at all really, but... Oh, so I noticed that I really haven't seen the guy in the blue suit at all recently. Wonder what's up. Well, the next time we meet I'm gonna make him eat one of my dogs. I mean, I like that there was a cameo of Phoenix, Maya and Pearl on Case 3, I think, when we was in Gatewater Land. You could see them on the rowboat. That was very nice. Wait, so who's this gonna be? Detective Bad or Lang? Oh, Bad. Today I gave testimony in court today, as a member of the Yatagarasu. Yeah, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed. Over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. Langzy says, thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from head to tail. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Ah, youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? I've begun noticing the grey hairs in my beard more. I'm thinking of retiring my mirror. He does love to look at himself in the mirror, that's true. I can only imagine how terrifying it must be to notice a grey hair. Oh, Pink Princess, really? Oh god. Am I even going to be able to read these? I was the Pink Princess and the Pink Badger, all in the span of 2 days. Talk about busy. But it's alright, because I got a letter from my beloved Edgyboo. Please take care of your hip. And when you wish to speak, first take off your headpiece. What does he mean by that last statement? It's not like I enjoy being under a headpiece every time I see him. Alien, some cream fuzzy pink animal. Jesus. Sounds like a terrible idea. Wow. Alright, there we go. There's actually more. Jesus. High Prosecutor's office is room 1202. Whoop. I feel so much better now that the trials are over. And as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, nothing beat the look on Mr. Alva's face when you revealed the ring secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun large-scale operations to clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Franziska and Agent Lang. So, what are your plans now, Kay? Oh well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Are you still trying to steal my job, pal? Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy. Whew, what a relief. Kay? Yes? Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief? Of course. But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yatagarasu, so I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. A 3-person team? A 3-person team of young beauties, the same age as me, if possible. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need. My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what was so noble about him. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, the only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm going to work extra hard to make a world where the Yatagarasu isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. Well, I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Okay, keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? And don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you came in through the building's front door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken for forever. Oh, one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture. Just the three of us. Yeah, commemorative photo. Every big case has to end with one. No. Hey, why not? Don't tell me you're camera shy, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course not, Detective. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Stop that. I can't be seen doing that. Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese! And thus, the long tale of the KGA incident came to a close. It saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there is little time to rest and relax, for I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth, and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed. Ah, that's a nice picture. And there it is. Boom. The end of Ace Attorney Investigations. Although I will be following this with Gyakuten Kenji 2, or its actual name, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, The Prosecutor's Path. So, yeah, look forward to that. I'm looking forward to it, because I've thoroughly enjoyed every single Ace Attorney game I've played. Not a single time have I been bored. Regardless of when I'm recording it, I do yawn a lot. It's because I'm reading. Oh, it's great. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it. But either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.